Eduardo Goes Extreme. At Foster's home for imaginary friends, everyone was having fun playing a game of Whizbee. "Heads up, Eduardo," Bloo said. "Ah!" Eduardo screamed. He was too afraid to catch the Whizbee. "You are such a scaredy-baby," Bloo said. "You are lucky you live at Foster's. You wouldn't last a second out in the real world." I would, Eduardo cried. "I'm going to run away. Then you'll see that I'm no scaredy-baby." Bloo shrugged. "Have fun." Eduardo ran out into the night. Across town, Mac's mean big brother Terrence had a problem of his own. He needed an imaginary friend, fast. In the junkyard, teenage boys were battling their nasty imaginary extreme-o-saurs. Then Terrence saw Eduardo on the street. He knew Ed was a chicken, but he was strong too. It just might work. He led Eduardo to the junkyard. Eduardo did not like the looks of the dark junkyard. It was too scary. He turned around to leave. "I should have known," Terrence said. "Only the biggest, tough guys are brave enough to hang out here." Eduardo stopped. "I'm big. I'm tough. I'm brave." The lights in the junkyard came on. Terrence quickly walked away. Eduardo saw that he was surrounded by teenage boys. Then, stomp, 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 a huge extreme-o-saur thundered toward him. Eduardo screamed. He ran. He threw stuff at the monster. The extreme-o-saur cornered poor Ed. "Leave me alone!" cried Eduardo, slapping the beast in the face. Slam! The extreme-o-saur fell. Ed had won the battle. Eduardo battled monster after monster. He ran and ran until a two-headed monster's two necks got tangled up. Eduardo hid from an extreme-o-saur in a pile of old tires. The tires fell and squashed the purple monster. Eduardo screamed so loudly that the ground shook. Boom! The extreme-o-saur crashed into the ground. "Wah!" Eduardo cried at the sight of a scary robot extreme-o-saur. But his tears fried the electric currents and the metal monster. "Eduardo rocks!" the crowd cheered. Terrence gave Eduardo a medal. "That's nice," Eduardo said. "You know who likes nice things? Everyone at Foster's. I should really go show them." "But things are just starting to get fun," Terrence said. "Tonight's the big battle tournament. Whoever wins gets to fight last year's champ, the most horrible monster the world has ever known." "That sounds like fun," Ed said. "You know who likes fun? Everyone at Foster's. I should really go tell them." "That's cool," Terrence said. "I mean, if you'd rather go back home a baby than a champion." Ed stopped in his tracks. He did not want to battle anymore, but he did not want anyone to think he was a baby either. Terrence went home that night. His brother Mac was sad. "One of my best friends ran away," Mac said. "You should check the junkyard," Terrence said without thinking. Before he knew it, he had told Mac everything. The next night, Mac, Wilt, Coco, and Bloo found Eduardo. "Let's go home," Wilt said. But Ed's feelings were still hurt. "I'm not going home," he said. "I wouldn't want to ruin Foster's with my scaredy cat cooties." "Can you catch those?" Bloo asked. He looked worried. Mac and the others did not want Eduardo to get hurt. They dressed up like an extreme-o-saur so they could battle him and lose on purpose. Ding! The battle began. Ed threw barrels at the fake monster. The monster toppled over and the disguise fell off. "Are you okay?" Eduardo asked. He was happy that his friends wanted to help him. The boys running the battle thought Terrence was cheating. "I had nothing to do with this," Terrence told them, "and I'll prove it." He pushed Mac, Wilt, Coco, and Blue into a big crate. Inside was the most horrible monster ever, last year's extreme-o-saur champ. Eduardo was afraid, but he knew he had to save his friends, so he bravely stepped inside the box. A tiny yellow monster sat in the middle. Ed reached out to pick up the creature. "Oh, aren't you the cutest little—" Zap, sizzle, sting. Long tentacles shot out from the monster, zapping everyone in the crate. "You've got to stay calm, Eduardo," Mac told him. Eduardo took a deep breath. He couldn't shiver. He couldn't shake. He couldn't scream or cry. He carefully tiptoed across the floor of the crate. Eduardo picked up his friends one by one. Then he brought them safely outside. Terrence was shocked. "What? How did a scaredy-baby like you—" "I am no scaredy-baby!" Eduardo shouted. The loud sound blasted Terrence into the crate. Zap, sizzle, sting. Terrence ran back out of the crate. "I want my mommy!" he cried. "Who's the scaredy-baby now?" Eduardo said. Back at Foster's home, Blue apologized for making Ed run away. "You're no scaredy-baby," he said. "That's right," Eduardo said. "I am a scaredy-baby no more." Then a Whizbee flew past Eduardo's face. "Ah!" he screamed. The end.